So when I was very, very young, like barely probably old enough to walk, I remember walking into a grocery store, well, tumbling probably at this point because I'm telling you, I was barely enough to walk, with my biological mother. This is one of the only memories I have with her. We walk into this grocery store and I remember running through through the clothes racks, and I look around 5 minutes later and my mother's not there anymore. And I realize I'm in the store for a very long time and she's still nowhere to be found. By the time the store closes, a worker finds me and I'm sitting in the back of a cop car with the lights are going off, so that's all I really vividly remember. My mother is a drug user. I don't like to say drug addict because it's just not. Something happened a couple weeks ago that actually made me change the song, which you guys are getting ready to find out. But she's schizophrenic and bipolar since I have no idea how long. My grandma said probably around 13, 14, this has been happening. She's been using drugs, and that's when those symptoms of both of those diseases started. But with all this happening to me, I have chosen a career path to help people and give back to the community because of them. And my dad is also the same way, but I have no vividly memories to even talk about with you guys. But to go back to this call that happened a couple weeks ago when I was on an EMT run. I walked into this building that was open with a door with a pop can. I walk up 3 flights of stairs with a 150-pound bag on my back that's full of any medicine that could help anyone out. It was an overdose call. We walk in, the lady is laying on her back with about probably 4 or 5 needles surrounding her, and there's throw up everywhere. Her body is cold to the touch, and she's not breathing. Her husband had let her lay there and her own throw up for at least several minutes, maybe several hours. There was no way of telling because she was deceased at this point. As we're walking out, her husband asks, "Is my wife alive?" The medic next to me says, "No, sir, your wife is deceased." The look on his face is something that has been horrifying to me ever since. So in the speech, first we are going to look at what it looks and means like to be an addict. And then I'm going to help you realize that this person is a human and someone's parent or child. And then I'm going to tell you empathy is huge to these humans. But what exactly qualifies someone to be an addict? Or is it safe to say that everyone in this room has an addiction? Addict is a dehumanizing word because we have given it into our category of our awful book of slurs. Today's racial slurs are a huge issue. We separate each other by being black, white, Mexican, and you might as well add on rich and poor, alcoholic and drug addict. Whether we admit it or not, this is something that we've done. We as people have forgotten that we all have one thing in common, and that is that we are human. With that being said, this belief that an addict isn't capable of living like everyone else is wrong. You see someone who is on drugs and you either feel hatred or mean and hostile thoughts, or you feel bad and wish that there was something that you could do to help. But have you ever put into consideration that this is someone's mother, or son, or daughter, or father? My job as an EMT will be to help them and revive them. But my job as a daughter of 2 drug users is to learn and grow from them and make sure that my addiction isn't the same as theirs. Choices. We all make them, right or wrong. Some not the smartest, and some are the best decisions you could ever make. I could have made the choice to not help others and be like my parents, but honestly, them never being here has made me more motivated than ever. Because they would rather get high every day. My kids will never have to wonder what it's like wondering where mom and dad is, or if their parents are even alive. But I also had the choice of making to understand their situation, or anyone who has made the choice of drug use as their addiction. And so should you. By understanding, I have learned empathy. Maybe if we were a little bit caring that the mother, the father, the son, and the daughter would want to put down the needle. I work with a man who has a long history of drug use in his life. He comes to work every day. He's not the brightest, and he honestly gets on my nerves. But he is one hell of a worker, and he's trying to do the better for himself. So maybe if we just all remember that they were all human, we can make this world a better place. And remember that we all make mistakes.